What's going on YouTube? Josh here with the Creative Wade, and I wanted to make a kind of rebuttal video about the RME and the Apollo. In my previous video that I released, I said I was going with the Apollo for the remainder of 2024, and I actually don't think that that's the case anymore now that I've actually taken the time to learn the RME software. But before I get too far into that, I want to give a honorable mention to Zounds.com. They did not sponsor this video, but they did send me this RME and the Apollo to do a test on. And if you guys are not familiar with Zounds.com, they have a simple no credit, no background check finance option, and I believe the RME is on there, and you can get it for 6 payments of not a lot of money. Thank you guys and girls for commenting on the last video saying give RME another try, don't just give up on it, because this thing, not gonna lie to you, the reason that I didn't want or that I gave up on the RME was because the mixer software is so damn complicated. I am not gonna lie to you guys. I'm 37 years old right now. I've been doing this since I was 16, and by this I mean some type of studio environment, right? Like I was running an analog board when I was 16 years old. I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but when it comes to audio routing and how things are supposed to work, I think I'd like to think I have a pretty good idea of it. But when I opened the mix software that RME has, I was so thrown off and so confused by it. And also, you know, I'm just so used to Universal Audio's mixer that this was completely out of my comfort zone and completely different. So I kind of dismissed it a little bit too quickly, I think. And I made a video saying, hey, you know, I'm choosing the Apollo for my studio setup going into 2024. I don't think I'm going with the Apollo anymore. I think I'm going to go with the RME. I'm finally starting to grasp the RME mixer software. The RME videos, the ones actually from RME, were the least helpful. No offense to those guys, but they didn't help me out that much. But the other videos from just regular YouTubers, those helped me out a great deal more than the actual RME videos. So my advice is maybe check out the Barry Johns one and check out a couple of other people. For my scenario, I use OBS for screen capping only right now, but I want to do more live streaming in the future. And with the Apollo, even the USB Windows version that I have the Apollo Twin X USB 3.0 version specifically for Windows. Even with it, I was still having some serious issues. I found a bunch of workarounds too, but I really got tired, honestly, of trying to do something that I think should be basic as far as audio routing goes. And I got really tired of having to deal with that when I plugged the RME, and what little knowledge I had on the RME, I had audio routing perfectly into OBS. Not only that, but I can have Studio One open, I can have Ableton Live open, and I can be piping audio between both DAWs seamlessly with absolutely no issues and very little latency. And I've not had any issues switching back and forth. And one of those small issues that I had to try to find a workaround for, which I never did with the Apollo, was sometimes I record things in 96K, or I'll make an instrumental in 96K. I close out of my DAW, I close out of Studio One or Pro Tools or whatever I'm in at the time, I'll switch over to Google Chrome. Distortion and everything and clicks and pops, because obviously it's trying to adapt to that different resolution. I think Google Chrome defaults to 48 kilohertz. So I had to turn off my Apollo, turn it back on. Sometimes I had to restart my computer just so I can open Google Chrome and watch a YouTube video after I had my studio software, my DAW open at 96K. I did not have that issue with the RME. I was able to switch it back and forth with no issues at all. But that's gonna do it for this video, you guys. I just wanted to give you a shout out to the guys and girls that left comments in the last video. Thank you so much. You have convinced me to really look at the RME mixer and actually learn it. And now that I'm kind of learning it a little bit, I am really leaning more towards the RME, even over the Apollo, which I have a lot of experience with. So hopefully you guys have a great weekend. This video will be posted on a Wednesday, and remember, it's called Music Theory, not Music Fact. Have a good one.